If you make it a habit not to blame others, you will feel the growth of the ability to love in your soul, and you will see the growth of goodness in your life. A man is like a fraction whose numerator is what he is and whose denominator is what he thinks of himself. The larger the denominator, the smaller the fraction. Patience is waiting. Not passively waiting. That is laziness. But to keep going when the going is hard and slow, that is patience. The two most powerful warriors are patience and time. Wrong does not cease to be wrong because the majority share in it. Everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself. Free thinkers are those who are willing to use their minds without prejudice and without fearing to understand things that clash with their own customs, privileges, or beliefs. This state of mind is not common, but it is essential for right thinking. If you want to be happy, try only to please God, not people. Since corrupt people unite amongst themselves to constitute a force, then honest people must do the same. Rest, nature, books, music, such is my idea of happiness. Just as one candle lights another and can light thousands of other candles, so one heart illuminates another heart and can illuminate thousands of other hearts. Real wisdom is not the knowledge of everything, but the knowledge of which things in life are necessary, which are less necessary, and which are completely unnecessary to know. Since corrupt people unite amongst themselves to constitute a force, then honest people must do the same. Once we're thrown off our habitual paths, we think all is lost, but it's only here that the new and the good begins. There is something in the human spirit that will survive and prevail. There is a tiny and brilliant light burning in the heart of man that will not go out no matter how dark the world becomes. When you love someone, you love the person as they are, and not as you'd like them to be. Grow spiritually and help others to do so. It is the meaning of life. What is important is not the quantity of your knowledge but its quality. You can know many things without knowing the most important. Something magical has happened to me, like a dream when one feels frightened and creepy, and suddenly wakes up to the knowledge that no such terrors exist. I have wakened up. A woman is more impressionable than a man. Therefore in the Golden Age, they were better than men. Now they are worse. All the variety, all the charm, all the beauty of life is made up of light and shadow. We live in this world like a child who enters a room where a clever person is speaking. The child did not hear the beginning of the speech, and he leaves before the end, and there are certain things which he hears but does not understand. For a few seconds they looked silently into each other's eyes, and the distant and impossible suddenly became near, possible, and inevitable. A battle is won by him who is firmly resolved to win it. When you understand that you will die tomorrow, if not today, and nothing will be left, then everything is so unimportant. So one goes on living, amusing oneself with hunting, with work, anything so as not thinks of death. To regard Christ as God, and to pray to Him, are to my mind the greatest possible sacrilege. He felt now that he was not simply close to her, but that he did not know where he ended and she began. Happiness is an allegory, unhappiness a story. History is the product of vast, amorphous, and indecipherable social movements. The struggle with evil by means of violence is the same as an attempt to stop a cloud, in order that there may be no rain. It is amazing how complete is the delusion that beauty is goodness. Often a man goes on for years imaging that the religious teaching that had been imparted to him since childhood is still intact, while all the time there is not a trace of it left in him. By words one transmits thoughts to another, by means of art, one transmits feelings. In difficult circumstances always act on first impressions. All violence consists of some people forcing others, under threat of suffering or death, to do what they do not want to do. There is only one way to put an end to evil, and that is to do good for evil. We can know only that we know nothing. And that is the highest degree of human wisdom. The recognition of the sanctity of the life of every man is the first and only basis of all morality. We lost because we told ourselves we lost. Everyone wants to change the world, but nobody wants to change himself. Where there is a man who does not labor because another is compelled to work for him, there slavery is. But that's just the aim of civilization, to make everything a source of enjoyment. Art is a microscope in which the artist fixes on the secrets of his soul and shows to people these secrets which are common to all. Be bad, but at least don't be a liar, a deceiver. Human love serves to love those dear to us, but to love one's enemies we need divine love. For if we allow that human life is always guided by reason, we destroy the premise that life is possible at all. And where love ends, hate begins. It's not given to people to judge what's right or wrong. People have eternally been mistaken and will be mistaken, and in nothing more than in what they consider right and wrong. Before we can study the central issues of life today, we must destroy the prejudices and fallacies born of previous centuries. Christian love comes from the understanding that there is a unity of divine origins in oneself and other people, and not only in people but in all living things. In life, in true life, there can be nothing better than what is. Wanting something different than what is blasphemy. How important the concept of God is, and how instead of valuing what has been given us, we with light hearts spurn it because of absurdities that have been attached to it. Love does not exist. There exists the physical need for intercourse and the rational need for a mate in life. You see, if you take pains and learn in order to get a reward, the work will seem hard, but when you work, if you love your work, you will find your reward in that. Everything comes in time to him who knows how to wait. There is nothing stronger than those two, patience and time, they will do it all. Not one word, not one gesture of yours could I, ever forget.